Then Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury, and the expression on his face changed towards Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He spoke and commanded that they heat the furnace 7 times more than it was usually heated. And he commanded certain mighty men of valor who were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fiery furnace.
Okay, let's picture this. So what's happening right now at the scene? They're about to throw them in. What did they do? Right? They heated it 7 times more, and they're tying up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they don't just call regular people. They call like the mighty guys, like the big bouncers and guys bigger than Vuong, to bind them up. Okay, let's go ahead and pick up Tracy.
And he commanded certain mighty men of valor who were in...
Keep going, don't worry.
Okay, 21, right?
21 and 22
Okay.
and 23.
Then these men were bound in their coats, their trousers, their turbans, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fury furnace. Therefore, because the king's command was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Okay. How hot was the fire?
7 times hotter.
And it was so hot that they throw in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And what happens when they throw in the three young men?
They also get burned.
No, to the guards, right?
They get burned.
The guards get burned up. The fire is so hot, they throw them in, and it devours the guards who are throwing in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Can you pick us up, Leo?
And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bowing to the midst of the burning furnace. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished, and he rose in haste and spoke, saying to his counselor, "Did we not cut 3 men bowing to the midst of the fire?" They answered and said to the king, "True, O king."
What's going on? Let's read verse 25 for us, Kevin.
Look, he answered, I see 4 men, loose, walking into the midst of the fire. Then they're not hurt, and the form of the 4th is the Son of God.
So what happened? Yes.
Jesus.
Jesus? What about
So they tossed it. They tossed it. How many people?
3. 4.
3. 3. 3.
They tossed in 3.
And then they saw 4 persons.
They saw 4.
They saw 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Jesus was the second one, or the angel.
Jesus was the 4th person in there. Right. Everybody turn to Isaiah chapter 43.
Isaiah what?
Isaiah chapter 43. You found it? Chapter 43 verses 1 and 2.
Where's that?
And then Tim, can you read it for us when everybody's ready?
But now thus says the Lord, created you, O Jacob, for he who formed you, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, nor shall the flames scorch you.
What did we just read?
That if you go into the water, you will not be like drowned. And if you go into the fire, you will not be burned.
Can you imagine that, right? Yeah,
But people do get drowned.
they do. But does that mean that God's not with them? Not necessarily, right? Here's the thing. Bad things do happen to people. Okay. But here we have this promise. No matter where or what happens to us, if you let God walk with you, He will stay by your side. But what was that key word? You have to, what? You have to let Him, right? Sometimes we don't want to either follow God or let Him be with us. But God promises. He says in Matthew 28, 19, 20, I will be with you always.
The last. Matthew 28.
Give it to
I will be with you always, even to the end of the age. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, the last part.
Okay.
Wait, what chapter?
Matthew 28.
The last verse.
Matthew 28.
Oh.
Thanks for keeping me on my toes, gang. Okay. That's in verse Matthew 28, 20. Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. Okay. And actually, before that, it says in verse 18, all authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Okay. The God of the universe, the God who controls the wind that is blowing right now, who makes the grass under your feet grow, who is in charge of the sun that is shining right now. He's the one that rules over all of that. So when he says, I will be with you through the waters and the floods, I will be with you through the fiery furnaces of your life, and I will never leave you. What's that? He is in charge of the fire. Exactly. No matter what trials that come in your life or what difficulties you may experience, they always will come through Jesus first before they ever reach you. And so that's, what's interesting is, you ever wonder, how did King Nebuchadnezzar know who the fourth person was? You ever wonder that? How did he know?
Because previously Daniel explained to him the dream that God gave.
A little louder?
Because previously Daniel explained to King Nebuchadnezzar the dream that God gave him. And he
Okay.
explained that it was from God. Yeah.
Nailed most of it, right? Someone had already been witnessing to King Nebuchadnezzar before this happened. Nice job. Excellent. Daniel had been witnessing to King Nebuchadnezzar. Do you guys know what Daniel's job was? Do you know what his job was? Was he a priest?
Yeah.
No. What was his job?
He was in charge of all the men.
The what? Charge of the wise men, you said?
The wise man, that's what King said.
He was essentially a civic leader. Okay, he wasn't a clergyman. He wasn't a pastor. He was a regular person, regular job person. But Daniel, where he was, used his position to speak to the king, to the point that when King Nebuchadnezzar saw Jesus, he actually recognized him. Okay, I'm going to connect that later on. Let's finish the story. Okay, are we back in Daniel chapter 3? Let's finish it up. Let's not hold ourselves back anymore. Such exciting ending. Daniel, can you read us?